Hi everyone, welcome back to Monique's Book List. This is the final video in the series about my top 3 favorite mystery books or mystery series. The last series is called a Lady Hardcastle mystery series, not to be confused with the Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. This is two different books. So the Lady Hardcastle series, there's 4 full novels, and then there's a novelette which is like 60 some pages in it. So the his name is T.E. Kinsey, and he started writing the series in 2014. The first book is called A Quiet Life in the Country. That was written in 2014. The second book is called In the Market for Murder, written in 2016. In 2017, he wrote Death Around the Bend. And just this October, he finished up A Picture of Murder. Also in 2017, he released, I don't know when it was written, but he released a novelette called Christmas at the Grange. So it was released right before the holidays so that you can enjoy it around the holidays. So as I said, these are real cozy murder mysteries, and how I classify cozy murder mysteries is that the murderer is going to be caught by the end of the book. None of the main characters are ever truly in danger of dying. Um, I actually believe that this may be the first time that might not be true. I think by the end of the series, I think one of the main characters might die, which is weird. I don't know why I get that feeling, but I feel like he would write it that way. But I still consider it a cozy murder mystery. So I'm going to give a brief description of each book and kind of highlight. Sorry, I think I covered up the mic. I'm going to give a brief description of each book and kind of just skim them because there's technically 5 books so far in the series, and I don't want this to be a very long video. So in the first book, you meet the Lady Hardcastle, and her lady's maid, Florence Armstrong. They move to the country. They move back from the. This is how the terms I use are the terms they're using in the book. Before someone says I'm being insensitive, I know that these terms may not. They just moved back from the Orient, and Lady Hardcastle has just lost her husband. I don't actually, technically, she hasn't just lost him, but he has passed away. And so her and Armstrong have retired to the country. Well, she doesn't have a home there, so she's technically um, renting her home from a friend who is actually still in India. So you get introduced to some some uh, some backup characters, but none of them are really you. There's only a few characters that you need to know about outside of Lady Hardcastle and Armstrong, and that is Sir Hector and Lady Farley Strow. And the reason why you need to know them is because in the first book, the first murder takes place at a party that they have. And there's also something stolen from the party that is very important to the two of them. And they know that Lady Hardcastle has some dabbling, or they know that she has either been a spy, is a spy, and they know that she can get to one, who killed the person, and two, the item that was stolen. She could probably find it for them. So she does. Her and Armstrong set out to do this, and they do. And the reason why I like these books are because I like books sometimes that you feel like you're coming. And I say this is because it's kind of weird. Because sometimes people don't like it when you're reading a series and it feels like you're coming um, in the middle of something. Some people don't like to feel that way, but in this particular book, you do. You do feel like, because they're always talking about their time in China and their time trying to get back to England. They talk about it, but they don't actually give you a lot of details into this. So you're introduced to her skills in the first book. By the second book, between the first book and the second book, something has happened and you don't fully know what has happened. You know that there was an event to cause damage to Lady Hardcastle and she's recovering at the beginning of the book. And everyone's kind of nervous about what's going to happen. Is she going to fully recover? And everyone's kind of a little scared. She pulls through. In the second book, there is a murder in the marketplace. The titles tell you where the murder is going to be. Okay. So there's a murder in the marketplace, and Lady Hardcastle and her trusty sidekick, her lady's maid Armstrong, figure it out. Now, the thing is, I'm simplifying these stories a lot because there's 5 of them, and I'm trying to get to all 5 and not have this video be 50 minutes. The thing that you will enjoy about these books is that, again, very subtle, very subtle women empowerment type of storyline. Like Lady Hardcastle's lost her husband. She spends almost 2 years trying to get back to England and having to be very not conniving. That's not the word I'm looking for. Very slick. I'm just use what I know. Very slick, and getting her and Armstrong back to England. And Armstrong comes from a family of circus folk. And so she uses her skills that she learned from the circus and some that she learned while being in China to help Lady Hardcastle achieve many of her adventures and also to defend both her and Lady Hardcastle. So the third book, of course, is actually Around the Bend. I don't remember this one verbatim. I want to say it's about cars. I believe it's about cars, but I don't remember that one. I don't remember it the most, honestly. I think that kind of tells you that it wasn't the. Okay, I'm stumbling. So let's get to the fourth book, and we'll get to the novel in a minute. The fourth book was just recently released. Excuse me. It's a picture of murder, and you're introduced to you get more of the backstory of Lady Hardcastle's travels through China. She talks about how she met her husband, how they went into business with the government, how she met, Armstrong, how she helped Armstrong become a strong, bad chick. And yeah, it's really cool. So the fourth book, you get that background, but there's also you get introduced to the moving pictures, aka the movies, and Lady Hardcastle's solving a murder to do something with that. And it's really cool because I read these books around Halloween, and the theme in these books, or I should say Halloween. I think no, it was around Halloween. So the themes in in this book was very much kind of a fall Halloweenish. Yes, it was. It was a full Halloween book because everything happened around the 31st of October. I literally finished reading it on the 31st of October. Um, so yeah, so that's what happened in this book is there's a murder around the picture show, and it's all circling around, or it's all around the 30th of October. And it's a really amazing story, and I love it. They bring back some characters from the original, not the original, from the first book. And all of these books, they're not very big books. They are around about 300 pages, or at least the fourth book was 320 pages. Let's see, the second book was 300 pages. So yeah, about 300 pages. I think it took me 2.5 days to read slash listen to. And again, like if I haven't, I don't think I've posted the video yet, but I usually read slash listen to books. I don't just read a book and I don't just listen to a book. I usually read a book with narration. Um, Actually, no. I think I just listened to this book. It took me 2 days to listen to it. Yeah, I just listened to this book. I just told a fib. I just listened to this book, the last book. So let's get to the novelette. The novelette is called Christmas at the Grange. There's no murder in this book. It's just a mystery. Something is stolen, and they're trying to get it back, and it's all at the Grange. And the Grange, of course, is the house of Sir Hector and Lady Farley Stroud, and it's a really cute. I think there's, let me see how many pages is in this. 67 pages in the book. Very cute mystery. It was nice to read at Christmas time. It was nice not to be reading murder at Christmas time. um, but yeah, so a really cute series. I wish I had a lot more details. I read many of these books a long time ago, but I do remember enjoying them. And reading the fourth book just recently reminded me of how much I love the series. So that's why I included it. There's two other series that I wanted to include, but there's they're not they're not the same, in my opinion. They're not the same magnitude as these books. So I may mention them as just books I encourage you to read. But yeah, I'm not. They're not the top three. So thank you for listening to the series.